ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृतं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतो सेवया भागवतोत्तमश्लोके विष्णु सुधाम भगते ज्ञानात्मिका कलो नष्टदिशा श्रीमद्भागवतम् थर्ड कैंटो चैप्टर 27 वर्स नंबर 40। भूतसुस्मिन्द्रियामनो बुद्ध्यादीश्यमिन्द्रया लीलेशो वसति यस्तत्र हीनिन्द्रो निरहङ्क्रिया भूतसुस्मेन्द्रिया मनो भूतसुस्मेन्द्रिया मनो बुद्ध्यादि बुद्ध्यादिषु इह निन्द्रया लीनेषोऽसति यस्तत्र हीनेन्द्रो निरहङ्क्रिया भूतसुस्मेन्द्रिया मनो बुद्ध्यादिषु इह निद्रया लीनेषोऽसति यस्तत्र हीनेन्द्रो निरहङ्क्रिया भूतसुस्मेन्द्रिया मनो बुद्ध्यादिषु निद्रया लीने च सति यत्तत्र हीनेन्द्रो निरहङ्क्रिया भूतसुस्मेन्द्रिया मनो बुद्ध्यादिषु निद्रया लीने च सति यत्तत्र हीनेन्द्रो निरहङ्क्रिया भूतसुस्मेन्द्रिया मनो Bhuta, the material elements, Sukshma, the object of enjoyment, Indriya, the material senses, Mana, mind, Buddhi, intelligence, Adisu, and so on. Iha, here, Vidraya, by sleep, Vinesu, merge, Asati, in the unmanifest, Yaha, who, Tatra, there, Vinindra, awake, Virahang Kriya, freed from false ego. Translation and purpose by D.P. Although a devotee appear to be merged in the five material elements, the, the object of material enjoyment, the material senses, and material mind and intelligence is understood to be awake and to be freed from the false. The explanation by Rupa Goswami, the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of how a person can be liberated even in this body is more elaborately explained in this verse. The living entity who has become such a drift, who realized his position in relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, may remain apparently merged in the five elements of matter, the five material sense objects, the ten senses and the mind and intelligence. But still he is considered to be awake and to be freed from the reaction of pulse. Here the word Lina is very significant. The Mayavadi philosophers recommend merging in the impersonal effulgence of Brahman that is their ultimate goal or destination. That merging is also mentioned here, but in spite of merging, one can keep his individuality. The example given by Jiva Goswami is that a green bird that enters a green tree appears to merge in the color of greenness, but actually the bird does not lose its individuality. Similarly, a living entity merged either in the material nature or in the spiritual nature does not give up his um, individuality. Real individuality is to understand oneself to be the eternal servitor of the Supreme Lord. This information is received from the mouth of Lord Chaitanya. He said clearly, upon the inquiry of Sanatana Goswami, that a living entity is the servitor of Krishna eternally. Krishna also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that the living entity is eternally his part and parcel. The part and parcel is mean to serve the whole. This is individuality. It is so even in this material existence when the living entity apparently merges in matter. His gross body is made of five elements. His subtle body is made of mind, intelligence, uh, false ego, and contaminated consciousness. And he has five active senses and five knowledge acquiring senses. In this way, he merged in matter. But even while merged in the 24 elements of matter, he can keep his individuality, individuality as the eternal servitor of the Lord, either in the spiritual nature or in the natural nature. Such a servitor is to be considered a devotee. That is the explanations of the authority, and it is confirmed in this. नमो विष्णु भगवाय जय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम. Although a devotee appears to be merged in the five natural elements, the object of natural enjoyment, the natural senses and natural mind and intelligence. It is understood to be ours and to be based on the past. That means after becoming substitute, that means when substitute means when he sees within everything related with the Lord and himself also he thinks served by the Lord. That means Lord is the servator of all things. And then that is called the substitute. The self-realized soul is that which is caught in the threefold ego and then in the body. That means understanding the pure soul is the substitute. Contamination soul and pure soul. That means when soul accepts the body and the body just giving into the thinking that I am this body, that is the false ego. But Satya also goodness is material goodness is the cause of the bondage. That is also that's why some people Sukta, that means pure goodness. And then they come to the level of the subsidiary. And then after what will happen? Even though they are merging with they appear to merging with the five elements and senses, everything. But they are not get into that. That's why they are free from the policy. The ahankari. Rupa Goswami. So Mayavadi philosophers, they think merge into the Brahman means they lose their identity. But this is not a way. They are not losing their identity. Because they have to be in their identity. They never lose their identity. But Mayavadi philosophers, they think after merging to the Lord and His effulgence, and they lose their identity, but not like that. And here saying Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami gives the Rao Superdov from Vishnu Purana also. Green tree and green bird within the same tree and look like the same, but still they are different. One is enjoyer of the fruits and another is the Upadrashta. That means they're seeing the what living into this. That means as a super soul, he, he's doing that. Same thing sometimes such a group means it look like people are merging to the elements. Still such a big soul, that means pure soul, never be affected by uh, the material things and can the pure soul not losing his identity, it remains same and not mixing with the uh, and losing their identity. India vitality is all the time, but look like margin, same as a green tree and green bird. नामैत अंश जीवलोक जीवभूत सनातन मन इंद्रियाणि प्रकृति स्थानि कर्षति. That means internally everything is part and parcel of the Lord. Jiva Bhuta, all the living is the part of the Lord. Mama Amsa is part of the his body. That means what is the part of the body character. Satchit Anand. So that's a living entity has that same uh, quality, and when they come to the contact with the material world and they forget their real identity, that means Satchit Anand. That is there, but they forgot, and they have to revive that one. Oh, my real constitutional position and my real identity is the Satchit Anand. So, form of the Satchit Anand, full of infinity, full of happiness, and full of goodness, full of consciousness. But they are thinking like, but even though while merged in the 24 elements of the matter, he can keep his individuality as the eternal survival of the Lord, either in the spiritual nature or in the material. Such a survivor to be considered a liberated soul, that is explanation of the authority, and it is confirmed in this class. This is called the Mayavada philosophy. That means after becoming such a great, either they are in the material world or the spiritual world. They are not losing their individuality. It's a the thing over here. That means it's a cult in the Mayavadi philosophy. Mayavadi philosophy, what they say, just one soul is there, and after taking this body, we will get same one soul. That's why we are not the soul. Soul is one, and a reflection like sun reflection, sun rays is everywhere. Same thing, living entities accept that soul, same soul, and moving the all of the other living entities. They have to- And talking about the matter, and that's the principle only. There is nothing, only principle, and come as a Ram, Krishna, Durga, whatever they are desiring, and they will come as they accepted that type of body from the nothing to something. That is the Mayavad philosophy. But our authority, Prabhupada writing our authority, giving this explanation, that means living entity all the time is Sarvajana, and living entity is the Sarvajana of Krishna, it is not only external. Now we go to second verse. मन्यमानस्तदात्मानं मनस्तु नष्टबन्धुषः नास्ति अहङ्कारेण द्रष्टा नष्टभूता इवातुर. The living entity can vividly feel his existence as the seer, but because of the disappearance of the ego during the state of deep sleep, he falsely takes himself to be lust, like a man who has lost his fortune and feels distress, thinking himself to be. Only in ignorance does a living entity think that he is lost. If by attainment of knowledge he come to the real position of his eternal existence, he know that he knows that he is not lost. An appropriate example is mentioned herein. Nashtabdita Ivatura. A person who has lost a great sum of money is a person who has lost a great sum of money may think that he is lost, but actually he is not lost. Only his money is lost. But due to his absorption in the money or identification with the money, he thinks that he is lost. Similarly, when I falsely identify with the matter as our field of activity, we think that we are lost, although actually we are not. As soon as a person is awakened to the pure knowledge of understanding that he is an eternal servitor of the Lord, his own real position is this revived. A living entity can never be lost. When one forgets his identity in deep sleep, he becomes observed in dreams, and he may think himself a different person or may think himself not. But actually, his identity in, is intact. This concept of being lost is due to false ego, and it continues as long as one is not awakened to the sense of his existence as internal survivor of the Mayavadi philosophers' concept of becoming one with the Supreme Lord is Another symptoms of being lost in falsehood. One may falsely claim that he is the Supreme Lord, but actually he is not. This is the last smear, smear of Maya, influence upon the living entity. To think oneself equal with the Supreme Lord or to think oneself to be the Supreme Lord himself is also due to Nasti Ahankar in others. After this disappearing the ego, they can think with they lose their identity. But real they are not. This is called false ego. And uh, this is the philosophy to how to overcome this all the mode of nature and all the false ego. Biggest false ego is that to thinking oneself this body, that is, and then uh, we are saying after nasta, after lost their false ego, and they think, oh, I lose everything. That means even though they are thinking their individuality also losing, but here giving the analyze, that means nasta bitta ego. Sometimes people just put their money in a side and they didn't give at the time and they are frustrated. And then they are just crying and they come to the anger and just do many things and just shouting each other, hey, why do this same thing? And they are in the distress, big distress. Uh, and same thing when false ego go from this living entity, and living entity also feel like that. Oh, I lose something. I lost something. Uh, But actually not. So far, that's giving to analyzing. Actually not. If they lose money, means they are identification with the money. And losing money means they are just losing their identification. They are thinking, but actually money and the living, that person is different. Uh, they are just thinking I am a rich man because yes, that is true also. If he have lots of wealth and that a rich man, and after losing the wealth and they will not anymore rich man. Same thing after giving up this false ego and they have to become a servitor of the law and they are not a master of the matter. Everything. They are the servant of the law. And that's the biggest uh, thing because they are just roaming here and there with the time immemorial. And that means false ego is gone, and that means they feel, oh, everything is gone, but it's not reality. And real ego will come. So, and after getting the pure knowledge, they will be awakened. So, and then mukta atma. That means they are the liberated soul. And Paddha atma, they will be in the bondage. So, yeah, another thing also is sleeping. Lots of people that say thinking mithya. Jagan mithya, Brahma satya, Jagan mithya. But everything is real. Whatever we are dreaming, that dream also real. Because we are seeing the dream. If we are not there and we cannot see the dream. That means whatever seen in the dream, maybe that is not a temporary, that not be real. But dream is real. Living into the see the dream. But at that time, they're losing their identity. That in, within this body and mind and intelligence and that organs are working, uh, still consciousness is run away from us and mind see the dreams. That means we are not losing our body. Same thing uh, here. If we are losing our ego, that means we are not losing our identification. Identification is there. Uh, Individuality is there. We are not losing our individuality. And if we are merging with the ocean and within the peace within the water, but within the water peace is there. That means he's not losing his identity. Same thing if we are merging with the Lord, even though this material world or the spiritual world, if we enter the spiritual world, that means we are not losing up. That cannot be happen. But because all living entity is the part and parcel of the Lord. That means not like cutting like this and just again put together and fix it up. Not like that. This is Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. That means Lord also eternally and living entities also is there. All the time they are individual. Like my Guru Maharaj, father gives and mother gives the birth to the child. And that means after death and the child also merge with the father. It never happens. We never serve like that. Yes? And how we can think like that we just merge with the Lord. We are part and parcel of Lord, yeah. We are the a kinds of part and parcel of the our parents to the child. Right? Mixing each other and then a child will come. That doesn't mean child also after taking this body and merge with the mm, father and mother. It never happens. Same thing, this is also after losing false ego and they think they are losing their individuality. The Mayavadi is feeling like that, but it's not that is reality. That's a Kapila Dev, this title of the chapter also understanding the material nature. That means false ego make us the biggest fool. In reality, yes, we are thinking by the false ego, influence of the false ego, we are thinking we are this body and we are the proprietor of everything. And we want to lord it over in the name of different name, in the politics and sometimes in the name of the religion, sometimes in the name of the uh, social, social worker, sometimes the this organization, that organization for help people. And by false ego, they are using their false ego for their benefit. Benefit means they want to material benefit, not spiritual benefit. They do that. To think oneself equal with the Supreme Lord or to think oneself to be the Supreme Lord himself is also due to false. Many people have that concept. No, many people they are practicing like that. For they want to merge with the Lord. That's why they are practicing that yoga system. And this is the Prabhupada saying this is the final ego. Yogi they can add the Brahma Bhuta state, but that and after that they have the contact was not also, and they can know. they have to come to this knowledge. We are the sub-audited by the Lord. We are the servant of the Lord. And then again, sometimes they also get the chance to improve their condition from there too. They are some of them liberated from there too also because they don't want to anymore become with the Lord and just constantly staying over there, the Brahma in personal future of the Lord. So we have here one more slokas and one more sloka from the Lord and there will be I'm gonna ask the question. श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय। जय प्रभुपाद